Hey, this is Lotus Comics Press. I'm here live at the Ink Life Tour. We're talking with Miss Sarah Miller. For anybody that's not familiar with Sarah Miller, she was on the Ink Masters TV show on season 2. Now, how was that experience, being on Ink Masters, the actual TV show?
It was really grueling. I've got to say, I didn't really expect the hours that we put in. We were up really early, up really late, didn't sleep a lot, but overall, it was an amazing experience.
So, what was the best, I would say, the best tattoo that you did on the actual TV show?
I've got a couple favorites, actually.
Which ones?
I did the Star Wars tattoo. I mean, I really like that one. Terry Browning was the guy I tattooed it on, and he, you know, he's actually a member of the 501st. So it was really cool to
actually talk to the 501st, so I can relate to that. Not only Star Wars is like my favorite movie in the whole world, so I can relate.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So it was either that tattoo or the baby portrait or the finale piece, because those were just like my 3 favorite.
I would say the finale piece was actually a bit different than most of the tattoos that you actually did on the show.
Yeah, it was more of my own style. Very illustrative and kind of impressionistic, but still having the hallmarks of a tattoo that's going to have staying power over a long period of time.
So I'm not too familiar with tattoos. It's an area that I'm actually just not too familiar with at all, even though I have some. Now, what's the actual proper term of a tattooer? Is it a tattooer or is it tattooee?
Well, no, a tattooee is somebody getting a tattoo. But I think there's a couple different things, because there's a tattooist, or that's a person that just does tattoos, and then there's a tattoo artist who takes it to the next level to push the boundaries of what's considered tattoo art.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Most of your inspiration seemed on the edge of geek, and I loved it because it was so geeky, but where do you get your inspiration at?
A lot of places. I mean, I've been reading comic books since I was really, really young. What I really wanted to do was to be a comic book artist. I love Michael Turner, Witchblade. I was reading Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man when I was younger. Like, those were like my favorite comics. And just the way that the art of the comics evolved over a very long period, not even a long period of time. It was like 10 years of the comics evolving to they're just gorgeous now. Like Top Cow, Marvel, DC, like they have some amazing artists like their employ, and not just like the line artists, not the inkers, but like the people that actually go in and they paint everything. Like, it's just taking everything to the next level.
I totally agree with you. I'm into comic books myself. What's your favorite comic book of all time?
I gotta say Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Kerry Gamble. He's an amazing. We actually interviewed him as well.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
That's so cool.
And yeah, I mean, Kerry Gamble is an amazing artist for Spider-Man. I love his work. And like Spider-Man itself, an amazing story. So I'm totally geared towards Spider-Man as well. It's like one of my favorites. Batman as well.
Batman's also pretty awesome. But then, I mean, we got Mark Brooks too, who's an amazing artist.
Right.
And he's done a lot of the covers for, I think it was Gen X now, and he started with Spider-Man, I believe.
Exactly. So I mean, that's really awesome. So comic books. What about video games? Do you cover video games too?
Yeah, Final Fantasy. I played World of Warcraft for quite some time.
DC Universe?
I haven't played DC Universe. I had to drop everything a couple years back because I started tattooing, and I don't know. Like whenever I kind of get somebody tells me I can't do something,
right,
I get an urge to basically show them up and say no, yes, I can do something.
That's awesome.
So when I started
much like you did on the TV show.
pretty much. So I started working for this one shop, and I thought it was all right, and I started seeing some of the art that was out there, and I was blown away. And somebody told me yeah, well, you're not gonna be able to get that that good until you're 10 years in the game. And
that's not true. You were good in the show. Like I said, you were one of my favorite characters off camera.
Oh well, no, this wasn't said during the show. This was actually when 3 or 4 years back,
really?
When I just started working for the shop in Pittsburgh that I stayed at for a few years.
So how's that going with the actual Pittsburgh shop?
Well, I just opened up my own shop actually last March. I opened it up, so this is our first year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So if somebody wanted to get a tattoo from you, where would they go?
They would actually have to go to my website and either send me an email. It's sarahjmiller.com, or they could call my shop at 412-668-2263. But I do have a 2-year waiting list, so they're going to have to be a little patient.
Waiting list.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. So did you get the whole 2-year waiting list based on the actual Ink Masters, the TV show?
I think it was the exposure of the show that
That's what I mean.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, I was booked out 5-6 months before the show even aired.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's an amazing experience.
It is really, really cool, but also it was kind of frustrating because I couldn't tell anybody where I was going and I had to reschedule their appointments. Right. So for 2 whole months, like, I was MIA and, like, everybody got pissed at me. So
were you started out actually being a comic book, like, advocate, and then eventually transferred into actually tattooing, I take it.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, like, I actually wanted to go to school for comic book illustration, but they didn't offer an illustration course in any of the colleges that I was looking at, and the ones that did were really expensive, and like there were,
that makes sense.
You know, it was more fine arts geared instead of commercial art.
Right.
So I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh for graphic design,
Very cool.
When I was there, I actually met my mentor. Her name's Ashley Claypool. She's actually working for Lantern Press right now, over in Seattle.
Yeah.
And she's a really good illustrator, amazing. But she was my roommate in my sophomore year of college, and she was a tattoo artist.
Wow, that's awesome.
She saw my work and she convinced me, and it took her a couple months, to convince me to try my hand at tattooing because I was raised conservative Christian.
Okay.
So like my rebellion was comic books, and so this was just kind of like not really a rebellious thing for me. It became something that I just wanted to try because it was a different medium of art.
Well,
and
so let me ask you
she taught me
this.
everything.
If you, based on your experience, what would you say if somebody wanted to eventually get into tattooing?
Yes.
What would you tell them?
I would say you would definitely have to find somebody to apprentice you. There's a lot of stuff that you don't know and you're never going to be able to find out on your own. The levels of apprenticeship vary because like you have to pay your dues to the industry.
Okay.
You definitely have to value what you're being taught because there's a lot of techniques that you'll learn from watching, from understanding, from asking how long the needles are, short the needles are, the different groupings, the different stroke lengths of the machine, as well as like different types of skin. Like if you have a mentor, they'll talk you through that. And like you may only need them for a few months or you might need them for a few years depending on how quickly you pick up everything.
Is there a way to find a mentor for tattooing itself, or
honestly just be tenacious. Look at people, like if you have a favorite artist that like any of the big name guys you're probably not going to be able to get an apprenticeship with. But if you find a decent artist that you really like, you respect them, they have good principles and values, and they have really good artwork, be very tenacious about it. Show them your portfolio. Draw every single day.
So you would suggest to start out with maybe having a portfolio, showing it to the proper artist.
You have to have a portfolio, and like the thing with the tattooing, it's not like a rock star lifestyle. You have to be creative on command, and a lot of artists it's not conducive to their creative process. They only want to draw when they want to draw, and I suffered from that same thing.
I see what you're saying.
But like being in college, that broke me out of it, and then going through the apprenticeship while I was in college, it also kind of like helped me to. You have to draw on cue. You have to create on cue.
Basically.
Yes, a
lot of rejection, a lot of determination, and a lot of eventually getting to your goal kind of thing.
Precisely.
That makes sense. See, I know nothing. Like I said, I know nothing about tattoos, but I'm huge into tattoos. I love geeky stuff like yourself. Star Wars, comic books, you name it. I love it. Final Fantasy. Very cool.
I did play Final Fantasy Online too for a little bit, just for a little bit,
so
a year or two.
Just to kind of wrap things up, you know. By the way, very much an honor having you on the actual show that we do. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. And now, just kind of a wrap-up question. If you had a superpower, what would it be? I actually would want to fly so that the situation that happened this weekend wouldn't happen again. All right. Yeah. That was kind of that's actually the one I picked. Seriously. Yeah. Seriously, I mean, like, I just think it'd be so cool to have that freedom to just go and do everywhere with the wind in your hair. The whole Superman effect. Or Peter Pan. Or Peter Pan. You know, never grow up. I would have gone to the Peter Pan right in my head, but yeah. I was thinking Superman. Well, yeah, actually, I saw Hook before I saw Superman when I was younger. Did you really? Yeah. Wow. So which one do you like better? I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence until I see the new Superman that's coming out, which looks amazing. No, I can't wait till the new Superman actually comes out. I'm a little sketchy with it though, because I don't know what to think about it yet, based on the preview. I don't know. The preview looks pretty interesting. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty interesting. It looks better than Superman Returns. It does. Way better. Yeah. There was one good scene in Superman when he freaking landed the plane right in the middle of the stadium. That was like the best scene in that whole movie. Everything else kind of sucked. I agree. But give and take the factors. So Where's if people want to get a hold of you as far as the 2-year waiting list, and they want to actually support what you're doing, is there a website that they can actually go to?
Yes, they can go to my personal website. It's sarahjmiller.com, and that's Sarah with an H. And they have forms there. You can look through my portfolio, all of my upcoming stuff, and then on my Facebook page, which is if you just type in Sarah Miller Tattoos Illustration Art, my page will pop up.
Is there any chance you're going to be on Ink Master Season 4?
I'd tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
well, I appreciate you being on the show again.
Dear.
And again, this is Lotus Comics Press. This is Sarah Miller. Check her work out. She's awesome, guys. Check us out at lotuscomics.com, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.